Let's talk Jamie Collins. So the news here today is that the Lions, who have been looking for a trade partner for Jamie Collins, have officially released the former Patriots running back. He is now a
linebacker.
Did I say running back? My gosh.
Yeah.
Linebacker. It's been a long day.
It's only Tuesday.
Right. Linebacker, Patriots linebacker Jamie Collins, released by the Detroit Lions, and now is a free agent, free to sign with any team that he wants. How about his former team with Bill Belichick and Matty P, who is up in the press box in the coach's booth during games, and also working pretty hands-on with the team in general. And I think we see some of that in the game plan, quite frankly, with the defense side of the football. But Jamie Collins, back to the Patriots. Do you like it, Alex?
I do. This isn't a report, but I think maybe if we want to read between the lines here from Field Yates, this was after it was reported that Collins had been released. Quote, now that he has been released, Jamie Collins can sign with another team immediately. Collins is making a fully guaranteed $8.8 million total from Detroit this year. He gives the details. Collins can now, here's the important part.
Okay.
Collins can now prioritize fit and familiarity when looking for a new home.
There we go.
Well, I mean, that's the Patriots. Where else is there fit and familiarity? Maybe Miami.
Right. So I was trying to remember.
He's not going back to Cleveland.
Right. So I was trying to remember. Collins was not on the team in 2018 when Brian Flores was the defensive play caller, but I'm sure they overlapped when Brian Flores is the linebackers coach with the Patriots at some point, right? Like
they did, yeah. So Flores,
but it goes back a little
ways since 2008.
Right. So it goes back a little ways though, right? Since the last time that Jamie Collins played for Brian Flores. Right. So I think that the connection here has got to be with the Patriots. And I mentioned it when we talked about it off the top of the show when this news officially broke. The Patriots pulled Dont'a Hightower for whatever reason, and nobody will answer it. They pulled Dont'a Hightower off the field and put Jelani Tavai on the field towards the end of that game against New Orleans. Jawan Bentley then left the game early due to an injury. And I would also throw in there that Kyle Van Noy has not exactly been great in his return to the Patriots. So for all those reasons, depth reasons, productive reasons, production reasons, Jamie Collins seems like a great option here for the Patriots to bring him back. And I'm all for this. And I'm not a Jamie Collins guy. I've actually been somebody that's reluctant about the Jamie Collins experience. I think at times he gets too caught up in chasing the football, runs himself out of the position, doesn't necessarily execute, and not a do your job type of player, right? All the time. But with the depth issues that they have with Dont'a Hightower and Kyle Van Noy looking the way that they have looked so far this season, and Van Noy, I don't know what it is. Hightower, maybe you can call it rust, but maybe he is also just getting long in the tooth. I think that you have to look at this as a really great opportunity to add another playmaker to the defense.
Yeah, he's the exact kind of player they need. I agree with you. Again, especially if Hightower is going to be limited. And, they took Matt Judon off the field at points on that last drive too. He was on the field for that 37, but he came off right after it. If the plan is to rotate at linebacker, and I know they didn't have Josh Uche, who kind of impacts his picture, but if the plan's to rotate at linebacker, then Jamie Collins, in terms of what he is at this point in his career and what the Patriots system is, he is the ideal rotational linebacker for the Patriots right now. Ideal. They should. I'm not even going to say they should make this call. The call should have already been made. When was this news announced? We did about 20 minutes between when it was announced and now. The call should have been placed already.
So I think there was already contact with Jamie Collins' camp.
Is this a guess or is this a little something?
It's a little something. All right.
Okay. All right. I'll put that in my sports hub story.
So I think that there was already some communication with the Lions about what they were going to do with Jamie Collins, and the Patriots were never going to trade for that contract, right? I mean, it was that simple, but as the Patriots often do, they picked up the phone to have some due diligence, right? To have some familiarity with the situation. And I was told that the door is definitely still open from the New England side, right? I don't know if Jamie Collins' camp is 100% in on it, but the Patriots are on board with Jamie Collins reunion from what I'm being told. And I think that this is definitely could happen. Now, Jamie Collins have some options potentially in terms of other teams that might be interested in him. I'm sure that they're contending a little bit with Miami as well. But from what I've been told, the Patriots are open to a reunion with Jamie Collins. It makes all the sense in the world for Jamie Collins to be open to a reunion with the Patriots because he plays his best ball in New England, right? I mean, he went to Cleveland and he was not very good. He's been in Detroit and he's been not very good. He plays his best football with Bill Belichick and the Patriots because they know how to use him perfectly. So Jamie Collins back to New England to play some inside linebacker, maybe spell Dante Hightower into more of a situational role, maybe bail out some of those things and with Juwan Bentley as well, getting injured at the end of that game. Both Alex and I are fully on board with this one, I think.
So, and here's what I would say, where, Collins probably wants to go chase another big contract and would like to play for a contender, but it's, is he going to win a Super Bowl in New England? No, probably not. But if he comes to New England, like you said, he plays his best football in New England.
Right.
Then this is where he comes back here, maximizes value again. It's the best chance for him to go out and get that money contract from a good team. So again, it all goes back to that. He plays in New England, unlike he plays anywhere else. This is where he needs to come to maximize his value.
Yeah. And I just think it makes all the sense in the world. Again, just going over the linebacker depth and everything like that. But Jamie Collins officially released by the Detroit Lions. That's the report out there right now. I do think the door is still open for a reunion to the Patriots, and we'll continue to monitor that situation moving forward. Alex, I also want to.
Look, I just think it's a ton of fun. I think the other thing is like Jamie Collins, just if I can geek out for a second.
Yes.
I mean, there's few Patriots in Dynasty 2.0 that were more fun to watch on the field than Jamie Collins. The dude, when he's in the zone, he's electric. Yeah. He changes game. He's a game changer. He's a legitimate, by the definition, game changer.
And an athletic guy too, right? Somebody that could add some athleticism and some speed to that second level of the defense.
And maybe like help them. I saw somebody before brought up the Alvin Kamara touchdown, and that was maybe more scheme than assignment. But
right.
When you have to play those kind of backs, a guy who can cover in those situations in addition to rush the passer.